I'm writing a book myself, and it's wrestling with some of the questions that you just discussed on Seth, on the this thin line, because you just mentioned that you received some backlash in publishing AI art, and so I'm concerned personally, and I would love to hear your own thoughts on it. But this line between, will AI unleash the potential of creativity for all of us, or will it drive people out of work? And how do we, for you personally, because you didn't expand on it, how do you see this equation playing out?
I need to think more about it. I have an economics background, and economists, we always love when the pie gets bigger. And we're like, well, the pie gets bigger, we can just give a piece of the pie. If the pie gets bigger, you just give a little bit of the pie to everybody, and there's a way to make everybody better off. It's called Pareto optimal solution. So free trade's a great example of this. So economists for a while have been very pro free trade, and the idea is that if you allow countries to specialize in what they're good at and trade with each other, kind of the GDP of the world gets a lot bigger. And economists have always been like, well, then you just, give some of that GDP to the manufacturers in America who've been put out of work, and everybody's better off. And it turns out that giving that part of the GDP to manufacturers in America never happens. So there always are people whose livelihoods are destroyed by free trade, and are really angry and hurt by the opening up of trade. And so kind of the economists might have an idea that, okay, well, if AI is going to increase productivity by 10x of society, then there's so much more to go around that artists, everybody who's hurt could be compensated by all the extra pie that we have as a society. But is that actually going to happen, or are artists just going to go out of work, or copy editors? In my book, my previous books, I had copy editors, and they went over every line and caught a ton of mistakes. This book, I used ChatGPT as a copy editor, and I'm pretty sure it caught all the errors. It's amazing at copy editing. Even like things that a human would never notice, like you have 3 spaces instead of 2 spaces, or really subtle things. ChatGPT is just amazing at copy editing. I would venture to guess that I have fewer typos in this book than in any of my previous 2 books, even though I didn't use a professional copywriter. I don't know that for sure, but I'm pretty confident because I tested ChatGPT. I'm like, you give it tests, like I just write up typos, and even tough typos to find, typos that'd be hard for a human to find. The first line of Everybody Lies had a typo in it. I just use the same word in twice or something, like in 2 parts of the sentence, and people just kind of naturally ignore that and find it hard to find. ChatGPT would never miss something like that. And but what does that mean? Copywriters have trained their entire lives to be really diligent at finding these errors, and now ChatGPT can do it no problem. And it's true for so many jobs. I don't know. It's wild. There aren't easy answers here. I don't think the answer is just ban this technology or not use this technology, but I don't know what the answers are, because it's also, they're coming for so many fields that people have trained so hard in, and creative fields, and it used to be, the idea was that you train a creative field, you don't have to worry about automation or and now if anything, the creative fields are more vulnerable to ChatGPT than the non-creative fields. It turns out it's easier to get AI to write incredible art than it is to create incredible art than it is to drive a truck, which I think surprises a lot of people. Or
Wow.
do dishes. Doing dishes is the dishwashers may be safer than artists from AI for a little bit, for a long while.
Wow, that's insane. That the table just turned, and again, like it has its benefits, and of course with benefits come some costs too. But I think you're hinting, said we spoke about this before recording, pretty much day one when you started writing your book, Who Makes the MBA, is that perhaps this is hinting towards creating a new system based on universal basic income or something like that. So in the real world, for you as an economist and as a data analyst, is that a feasibility now that you've witnessed what it can do for you while you write your books?
Yeah, definitely. I've long been a proponent of universal basic income, so this, if anything, makes me support that even more, because it does feel like, copy editing. I don't know how a copy editor is gonna we're gonna have any need for a copy editor. I was blown away by how good ChatGPT is. That is like a perfect use case of ChatGPT. It just finds all the mistakes in ways that copy editors would even struggle to find. So I don't really, see necessarily a use case for copy editing, human copy editors going forward. So I think we're going to need definitely universal basic income and other things, but to support people. It's happening so fast and in so many fields.